Have you ever dreamed of drifting through the iconic limestone karsts of Vietnam, but worried about crowds and pollution? Join us for an unforgettable 3-day, 2-night journey that takes us through the world-famous Hao Long Bay and into the quieter, more pristine waters of Bai Tu Long Bay. We're cruising aboard Dragon Legend 1 with Indochina Junk to see if a luxury cruise is really worth the splurge. Hao Long Bay is one of Vietnam's most iconic landscapes, and it's also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The entire bay covers roughly 1,553 square kilometers, with about 384 square kilometers designated as a protected heritage area. It's massive, layered, and far more complex than it often appears in photos. It's also a place that comes with a lot of warnings: crowds, pollution, rush tours, and experiences that feel disconnected. So instead of squeezing it into a single day, we chose to slow it down. In this video, we're sharing what it's really like to step away from long-term city living and spend 3 quiet days sailing through Hao Long Bay and Bai Tu Long Bay, seeing whether this kind of cruise truly fits a slow travel lifestyle. We'll walk you through the experience, the logistics, and the real cost, so you can decide if it's something you want to build into your own longer journey. If you're new here, we're two traveling after one, a couple of empty nesters on a mission to explore the world and share all the tips we pick up along the way. Like and subscribe to our channel for everything slow and nomadic travel, practical tips, destination guides, and in-depth information to help you plan your next adventure. Hao Long Bay has been on our radar for a while, but we didn't want to experience it as a rushed add-on. One of the main reasons we chose Dragon Legend 1 is because this itinerary is structured very differently than many others in the bay. You stay with the same ship and crew the entire time rather than being moved onto separate day boats for excursions, which keeps the experience calm and cohesive. The 3-day itinerary also gives you more uninterrupted time on the water, especially on the final day when many cruise lines are already heading back toward the Marina. And the private beach barbecue lunch, which is only available with this cruise company, was another big deciding factor for us. This felt like a better fit for how we travel, slower, more intentional, and focused on time rather than checklists. Our cruise day started early with an 8 a.m. pickup in Hanoi in a luxury limo-style bus. The drive to the bay takes about 3.5 hours. The seats were wide and comfortable, and bottled water was provided for the ride. The drive to the marina was smooth and well organized. We made one stop along the way at a pearl store with a small cafe, which worked well for bathrooms and a quick break. Food options were limited, so bringing your own snacks is a good idea if you need something specific. We purchased some snacks and coffees for 200,000 dong. Once we arrived at the marina, we checked in with the Indochina Junk office. We had already paid our deposit online, and it's important to note that for all credit card transactions, including the deposit, we were charged a 4% fee. While we waited, the lobby provided a very comfortable space with seating, Wi-Fi, tea, and water. Large golf carts then took us to the port, where we boarded a tender to reach the ship. Welcome to Hao Long Bay. We met our guide here, Vung, who went by Smiley. He was an excellent communicator, very organized, and clearly proud of this region and his role in sharing his knowledge and protecting it. Our luggage was delivered directly to our cabin and was already waiting for us when we arrived. The crew recommended keeping valuables with you in a small bag rather than sending them separately to the ship, and once on board, storing everything in the in-room safe. We carried our backpacks to the ship and used the same safe bag and cable setup we always travel with, which worked well here. As we began sailing away from the marina for the 2-hour trip out to Bai Tu Long Bay, we really felt the scale of where we were.
Welcome to Hao Long Bay.
We're excited to be doing our cruise here. We just boarded. We're heading out into the bay. They're telling us it's a 2-hour trip out to the bay. We're about to go down and have lunch, which is our first activity. Later today, we're going to be doing some kayaking, some exploring in a cave, a little hiking in there, and then finishing off with a sunset dinner on the deck.
That longer sail time was something we genuinely appreciated. It gave us time to settle in, explore the ship, and simply watch the scenery change as the limestone karsts gradually surrounded us. Lunch was served shortly after as we continued sailing. Before getting too settled, let's take a look at our room. The cabin was very comfortable for a multi-night stay. The bathroom was a standout with a large soaking tub with fabulous views, a rain shower, and provided toiletry products. The room had air conditioning, and you could request daily housekeeping to clean the cabin. The featherbed topper made the bed especially comfortable. Beyond our room, we really appreciated how much usable, comfortable space there was on the ship itself. The maximum capacity of the Dragon Legend 1 is 47 guests. We started with 39 guests aboard, but 11 of those guests were only booked on a one-night cruise. They disembarked early the next morning, leaving 28 guests on board for the remainder of the trip. At no point did the ship feel crowded, and there was always plenty of space for everyone to relax and enjoy the amenities. There's a small pool on board, loungers on the top deck, and you can also walk all the way up to the bow of the ship, which was a great spot to sit quietly and take in the views. There were also some tables set up outside, so you could eat outdoors or just sit and relax. We often saw other passengers using these spaces to play cards or games, or read, or simply enjoy the scenery. The ship also has a small gym area in the back with a treadmill, a stationary bike, and a few free weights, which is nice if you'd like to stay active while traveling. There's also a spa on board offering massages and other spa treatments throughout the cruise. Overall, the ship felt very well maintained. All of the spaces were clean and comfortable, with a lot of wood accents throughout, giving it a more traditional classic feel, even though it's a newer steel vessel. From a safety standpoint, everything felt very well organized. The ship chose 2 tenders behind it at all times, which were used for all excursions. Life jackets were provided in our cabin, with extras available on board and on the tenders. Wearing life jackets was required every time you boarded the tender, and when we went kayaking, life jackets and dry bags were provided as well. Each meal on board is served as a multi-course experience, typically around 8 courses. Portions are well-paced, beautifully presented, and designed to let you sample a wide variety of Vietnamese flavors without feeling rushed or overwhelmed. There was a good balance of vegetarian, meat, and seafood dishes. We didn't request substitutions ourselves, but we saw the kitchen easily accommodate other guests who did. As we sailed deeper into the bay, we were greeted with perfect weather, full sun, blue skies, and incredible visibility. The limestone karsts rising out of the water truly look unreal, and seeing them from the deck slowly drifting past was one of those moments where you realize why people dream about this place. Our first excursion was exploring Sot Cave. The cave was interesting and impressive in scale, but it was also clear that it had suffered damage in the past. Before conservation efforts were put into place, stalactites were cut, and at one point, dinners were even held inside the cave using open fires. Since then, the cave has been cleaned, access restricted, and the preservation efforts are ongoing. After the cave, we headed out on our first kayaking excursion. Kayaks were available as 1 or 2 person options, and life jackets were provided, as well as dry bags for your belongings. Here we are kayaking in Chau Long Bay. There's an island here. We're able to kayak around it. It's great. It's low tide. There's a 15-meter tide change here. So there's a lot to see during low tide. And
I'm enjoying Dan kayaking me around.
Before arriving, we'd heard warnings about pollution. We found clear water and no visible garbage. The kayaks were sturdy, easy to control, and felt very safe and suitable even if you're not an experienced paddler. The crew assisted with getting in and out of the kayaks. Back on board, we had time to relax and head up to the deck for sunset. In the afternoons and towards sunset, a light haze settled over the bay, softening the views and giving the limestone karsts a warm glow. Later, we joined a spring roll cooking class, followed by dinner at 7 p.m. The bar remained open until 11:30 p.m., and the crowd was a mix of couples, small groups, and long-term travelers. We ended the night with squid fishing off the stern with the crew. And yes, Dan actually caught 3 squid and a couple of fish. I hooked 2 squid and lost both, so we'll call it a draw. Each morning at 6:30 a.m., the crew offered a Tai Chi class on the top deck. It was a calm, optional way to start the day with gentle movement and stretching as the bay slowly woke up around us. You could participate or simply watch from the deck with a coffee in hand. But either way, it fit nicely with the relaxed pace of the cruise and set a peaceful tone before breakfast and the day's activities. Breakfast began at 6:30 a.m. for those on the one-night cruise and 7:30 a.m. for those on the two-night cruise, and was served buffet style with a made-to-order egg station and a traditional pho station, which quickly became a favorite. Day 2 focused on local life on the water. We visited the Vieng floating fishing village and transferred into small bamboo boats that hold up to 5 people, paddled by local men and women from the community. They took us through calm waters and toured Tuan Cave, a natural rock opening that you approach by boat, offering beautiful views through to the other side of the bay. It was peaceful and unhurried, and we learned how 40 people continue to live and work on these islands. Afterward, we returned to the village and visited a local pearl farm to see how pearls are cultivated, an interesting and informative stop without feeling overly sales-driven. This experience was quiet, unhurried, and deeply connected to the place, one of the grounding moments of the trip. One of the highlights of the cruise was the private beach barbecue lunch in Bai Tu Long Bay, which is only available with this cruise company. This was also the only opportunity to swim in the bay, as jumping directly off the ships is no longer allowed anywhere in the bays. After lunch, the pace slowed noticeably, and we had the beach largely to ourselves. Fresh food prepared right on the sand, time to swim, walk the beach, and enjoy the clear views without crowds or schedules. This afternoon really highlighted why this itinerary feels so different and made us feel like we were guests in an episode of Below Deck. At the final dinner, the kitchen team created elaborate vegetable sculptures from carrots and turnips. The chefs then came out, introduced themselves, and personally thanked everyone for joining the cruise. It was a thoughtful and memorable touch. We got up for sunrise both mornings, and both were beautiful, clear, calm, and peaceful. On the final morning after breakfast, we headed out for our last kayaking excursion. The bay was incredibly still, and about 8 people from our ship were the only ones kayaking, which made the experience feel special. Having this extra time on the water on the final morning was something we really appreciated, especially since many itineraries were already heading back toward the marina by this point.
This is the second kayaking trip of the How Long Bay cruise that we're on. We went kayaking yesterday as well, and now this morning we're up for an early morning kayak right after breakfast. This is pretty cool. There was a few little cutouts in the rock that we can go into, and the best part is Dan's paddling.
Before leaving the ship, we were treated to a final buffet brunch with a wide variety of options. After brunch, we began sailing through How Long Bay and towards the marina. It was a relaxed scenic ride and a nice way to ease out of the experience rather than feeling rushed at the end. As we approached the dock, the crew handled all of the logistics. Our luggage was transported for us back to the marina, and we boarded the tenders one last time to return to shore. Once there, we retrieved our bags and were divided into groups to board the luxury vans for the drive back to Hanoi. On the way back to Hanoi, we stopped at Yen Duck Village for a traditional water puppet show performed by local villagers. Bathrooms, free snacks, and tea were available, and it was a nice cultural pause to stretch our legs and take a break. After that, we made one final bathroom stop at a large gift store complex, which included a cafe, pearl store, hand-stitched paintings, and other souvenirs. While there, we purchased 2 coffees and snacks for 200,000 dong. Instead of continuing another hour into Hanoi and then spending an additional 45 minutes getting back to the airport, we arranged to be dropped off in Bac Ninh. From there, it was only 40 minutes directly to the airport, saving us a significant amount of time. Our cost for the 3-day, 2-night cruise was $840 for the 2 of us, including the credit card fees. Our onboard drinks totaled 550,000 dong, or $21.24 in US dollars. And we spent an additional 400,000 dong, or $15.44, at the highway rest stops for coffee, matcha lattes, and snacks. The Grab ride to the airport was 386,000 dong, or $14.90, and that brings our total for the 3 days to $891.58, which works out to $297.19 per day, or $148.59 per person per day. This is well over our long-term target budget of $164.38 per day, or $82.19 per person per day. That being said, for us, this experience was absolutely worth it. The quality of the cruise, the seamless logistics, and not having to think about transportation, meals, or daily planning allowed us to truly slow down and enjoy Hao Long Bay and Bai Tu Long Bay. Staying with the same ship and crew, having more interrupted time on the water, and experiencing things like the private beach barbecue, which is unique to this company, made this feel different from a standard cruise or day tour. For a high-quality, all-inclusive experience that let us fully enjoy Hao Long Bay and Bai Tu Long Bay without feeling rushed, we felt this offered excellent value. We hope you found this breakdown helpful as you think about how Hao Long Bay might fit into your own slow travel plans. Whether you're deciding how long to stay, which type of cruise makes sense for you, or how to budget for an experience like this, we hope having clear information makes planning so much easier. Thanks so much for traveling with us. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe for more slow travel content. We'll also share a full monthly budget breakdown for our time in Hanoi very soon. Thanks for watching and happy travels!